News, Uasin Gishu County.
What a fiasco. That's my alma mater and all the interest in that school and what happens. Away from that, a petition has been filed in the National Assembly seeking to have the former head of civil service, Joseph Kinyua, former Attorney General Githu Muigai, former Central Bank Chairperson Mohamed Nyauga, and former Kenya Power Company Chairperson Vivian Yeda investigated over their role in the 18.5 billion shilling paid to the Lake Turkana wind power mill. Now, that petition filed by one Peter Agoro seeks to have Parliament act on the Auditor General's report and red flagged the contract entered between KPLC, the Ministry of Energy, and the Lake Turkana Wind Power Company, which led to the payment of the said amount of money to the wind company. And as Chris Thairu reports, the petitioner wants the president to invoke his authority by setting up an ad hoc committee to investigate the said individuals.
The Honorable Speaker presiding.
The petition, which has already been received by the Clerk of the National Assembly, questions how 18.5 billion shillings was paid to Lake Turkana Wind Power Mill during the Jubilee regime under former President Uhuru Kenyatta. It also seeks the authority of Parliament to establish why and how the East Africa Development Bank, established 10 years ago with the help of former Attorney General, draws funds from the Consolidated Fund, yet it is not subject to audit and has never paid dividends to the Central Bank of Kenya. According to the petitioner one Peter Agoro, there is need for Parliament to look at payments made to Lake Turkana Wind Power Company after last payment of $7 million US, approximately 1.05 billion shillings, was intercepted by the German authorities and unceremoniously returned to the Central Bank of Kenya, with German authorities acting after following the money trail of money to the final destination that turned out to be individuals who he claims were politically powerful people in former President Uhuru Kenyatta's administration. The petitioner wants a former head of civil service, Joseph Kinyua, former Attorney General, Professor Githu Muigai, former Central Bank Chairman Mohamed Nyauga, and former Kenya Power Company Chairperson Vivian Yeda investigated. The petitioner speaks of attempts by the previous Parliament to get to the bottom of the matter that were thwarted when the then KPLC Chairperson was shielded from facing Parliament's probe. The petition states that it is a matter of public interest and should be of concern to Parliament that the East Africa Development Bank Operating Act of Parliament gave it access of resources from the Consolidated Fund without approval from Parliament and without provision of auditing. So far, Agoro says in the petition that Kenyans have invested an equivalent of 7.8 billion shillings, but with nothing to show for it. The petition will now be forwarded to the Petitions Committee in the National Assembly for further interrogation. Chris Thairu, KTN News, Nairobi.
Away from that, believers of St. Archangel Michael in Chaka were left in disbelief after robbers broke into their church on